Right, it's about time I discussed my plans for 2025. So I'm going to do a video about that, and it's probably going to go on because you know what I'm like, I just go on and on and on. So 2024, let's start with that. We did really well. So Billy came 13th overall in the novice Mira Trophy thing. So that means myself and Billy as novice combines were 13th out of everyone in the UK, as far as I'm aware. And I think that it was 13th. Don't take me for gospel. Anyway, whatever. We did really well. Billy was a horse that hadn't done very much for a while. So it was just thrilling to see his progress over the year and just to watch him flourish in this sport that I've decided we're doing. And he's loved it, absolutely loved it. So I've got my trusty handbook here, or logbook, whatever you call it, and I can quickly show you our competitive MasterCard. So this is all the rides we did last year, and I'm really proud of it because all down here is the results, and every single ride was a pass. We may not have got the heart rates that everyone else seems to get. We got completions, grade 4s, and 1 grade 2, but I really couldn't care less. My horse was sound throughout. He did the rides. He just did so well, considering everything and his napping and all those issues. I just could not be prouder of him. So yes, 2024 was a real success for us. And then he came second as well in the Stagby Awards. So that was wonderful. And we've been recognised by them for our achievements. And we did a bit of trail hunting this, the back end of this year in December. But it really wasn't for us, and he was a bit too much of a handful, so I stopped. Anyway, so yeah, we had a really great 2024 season, and I've really got the bug for endurance, so I'm going to go through now what I've got planned for this year. So here is my 2025 planner, and you might think that's in my office because it's got all my work dates on it, but of course no, it's got the dates for my rides and upcoming rides on. So I've just entered one this morning, and that's why I thought, right, I better make a video about our plans so that at the end of the season I might watch this back and see how well it went because things go wrong. It's a horse at the end of the day, and I'm a human. Things are bound to go wrong, but what we're planning to do is quite exciting, so let's get to it. So the first ride I've just entered, which is on the 29th of March, is at Talabont. So that's down like Brecon Way somewhere. It's about 2 hours, 20 minutes from here. So I will travel down in the morning like I did last year, just get up really early and just go. And that is on the 29th of March. So today is Monday the 3rd. So we've got 2 whole months to get him trained. Now, I've got a slight issue at the moment with my lovely Land Rover doing what lovely Land Rovers do and breaking down. So it's currently in the garage. I've not had a car for nearly 3 weeks. So I'm hoping that my partner will go and fix it because he's using a friend's ramp, and the guy's a Land Rover specialist, so he's going to help him out. But there's been lots of delays. The guy's not well, he's in hospital, so I'm just sitting tight and hoping I get my car back at some point in the nearish future. But it is impacting our training. So where I was expecting to be this time of the year, I'm not quite there with his fitness, but we'll get there. I'm not stressing about it. I'm just going to enjoy my horse. I'm not going to put too much pressure on us throughout the season. But we've got 2 months to train. I did a 10-mile ride yesterday with my friend Hayley, and he was feeling all right. He was feeling a bit sluggish actually. So I'm hoping that with the change in feed, which I'll do a separate video about, we can get a bit more oomph in him. So Talabont, we're doing a 40k, so what we've just done all last season, 25-mile rides, and we're starting off with a 40. I would have done a slightly longer distance, but there isn't an option at this ride, so 40 is the greatest distance you can do, so I'm going for that one. And then our next ride is in April, and it's at Pembrey. Now, Pembrey is very flat, and I rode there at the end of last year when there was a fun ride put on, and I found Billy really didn't struggle at all with the terrain. So I'm hoping to do a 1-day 80k there, which is, how much is 80k? 50 miles, isn't it? It's double 40, so 50-mile ride in 1 day. So when you do a ride of that distance, is slightly different to what we've been doing, because in the 40s you get vetted at the very beginning and at the very end, and there's no stopping in between. You just ride 40 kilometers. When you do an 80, you get stopped. I think it's once. I have to check the rules. I do have a handbook here, which I haven't read yet, about the open, the new level I'm at now. But I'll read that and it should explain. But I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe I do a 1 vet hold. It might be half an hour or 45 minutes. So halfway through, I stop riding. Billy, we check his heart rate. As soon as his heart rate gets below 64 beats per minute, I could present him to the vet. As soon as I come into the vet gate, present him to the vet, and then once his heart rate is low and the vet's happy that he's sound and his metabolics and everything, his hydration is okay, we then wait for half an hour to 45 minutes, and then we present him again to the vet. And if the vet says in that half an hour, 45 minutes, he hasn't gone stiff, his metabolics haven't gone, worryingly quiet, and he's still sound, then you tack up and you can go again, and then you do the rest of the ride, and then at the end you get vetted again. So it's a lot more of a process, but again, as I've always said, horse welfare is the prime thing with endurance. So that's my plan, is to do a 1 day 80, and then I might stay overnight there, and then hopefully I'll have a friend to crew the following day and Billy can have a rest in his corral, or I might just take him home. I'm not sure, we'll see. And then the next ride then is in May, and we've got until the end of May where we're going to go down to Somerset and do the Golden Horseshoe. Not sure what distance we're doing there. It'll all depend on how Billy's training has been going and how he feels at the time. But I'm hoping we'll do something like a 65 or maybe an 80 there, but it might be a 2 day 80. We'll see. It's all up in the air. And then we've got... the most exciting event I think that I've entered is, that I've entered already, because I've just entered Talabont, is Man vs Horse, which is on the 14th of June. And that is a marathon between horses and runners. So the horses do a ever so slightly longer route, and the runners get deviated from the riders at a few sections of the ride. But you are literally running on the same track, riding on the same track as runners for the majority of the ride. And it's just an incredible event, such a great atmosphere. If you can, get down there and see it off and see the finish, because it's just great fun. There's a really good atmosphere. There's a beer tent at the end. There was pizzas there last year. It was just so much fun. So yeah, highly recommend that if anyone wants to go as a spectator, or if you want to enter it. Entries have closed. They go within 5 minutes of it opening at the beginning of January, so we're lucky to have secured a place. But yeah, enter it next year if you really want to do a competitive, great fun race and challenge yourself, because it's brilliant. So I'm really hoping that we can get there this year. And I may well decide against doing Golden Horseshoe in order to keep Billy safe and sound, ready for Man V's. It just depends, really. We'll see. We'll just see how he's feeling and what's been going on, because he's a horse, so things can go wrong at any time. And then after June, we're into July, and I've got Cirencester on the calendar there. So that was a fantastic, fantastic weekend away. I had a terrible drive there. I told my best friend on arrival I'd never be going there again. And I just wanted to turn around and go home. But as soon as I got on my horse the following morning, wow, I just had the best ride ever. And Billy loved it. So I'm definitely going back again this year. Because we'll have had plenty of recovery time between Man V's and then. So that'll be our next competitive ride. And then August, I have nothing. I'm not planning to do anything. I'm going to give him a little bit of a relax and recovery time. He can enjoy eating all the grass that we're sure to have by then. And we'll just be doing some hacking. There is Michael Church, a ride sometime in August, but I'll probably just crew a friend there. We'll see. I'm going to give him a little bit of a break. And then in September, we've got 2 rides. So my friend Beth Ann organises the Elan Valley ride, which is an amazing, amazing hill ride, which I cannot recommend enough. And I help mark it and I help out on the day. And then I also ride it. So I'm planning on taking Bill there, and I'm not sure what distance again. And then again at the end of September, as always, is the Red Dragon, and we'll go to that. I haven't got an idea on the distances. It all depends how the season goes and how Billy's feeling. So I hope you're all excited for our whole season of fun that we've got planned. And I'll always try and record as much as I can of my training rides and of the rides themselves and making edits. So I hope that you are all invested as I am in Billy and my season ahead, and I'll keep you all updated. And yeah, so that's very exciting. And then because basically last year I was in the novice class, so I could have higher heart rates and slower speeds and do okay. But now in open, it's a little bit more challenging. So you get these charts then. And so this shows you the speed that you go and then the heart rate. And then as you go down, the higher the heart rate, the worse the what's it called? The worse the result. Although they're not bad, none of them are bad. As long as you can pass, none of them are bad. I've had completions all last season and I was more than happy with that. So yeah, that's that. I'm going to do a separate video on feed because I've just got a load of new feed in, ready to start Billy's training to make sure that he's getting everything he needs. I spoke to a nutritionist about it, so watch this space for that video. And he's also on the Feedmark Best Flex HA supplement to keep his joints as well as can be. So yeah, that's that. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you're thinking about joining Endurance and getting involved, then don't hesitate because it's just such a fantastic community. It's really changed my life, to be honest. So I've always done long distance riding around here, but it's never been an organised ride. It's just been me going out with an OS Maps app on my phone and finding places to ride with friends. But now I just feel like I've got so many new friends and so much to look forward to in the year. So I would highly, highly recommend it. And as I say, it's open to anyone, and you can do distances from 10 miles to 100 miles. So it's not limiting, me saying that I'm going to do 50 miles or 80k or 65k or whatever. You don't have to do that. You can do much shorter rides, for whatever you prefer. Some people don't want to sit on a horse for 6-7 hours, and I can totally understand that. I'm not sure that I do. So yeah, it's open to everyone, and I just highly recommend it. The website is a little bit difficult to navigate, but it's worth getting used to it because once you're familiar with it, it's okay. So go and have a look. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to watch our journey and see all of these rides going ahead if we get there, because everything's up in the air with horses, as I said before. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll do another one soon.